If your cooking style had a soundtrack, what 3 songs would be on it and why?
Oh, wow. You know, I think there's really only one song that I could actually describe it as, and that would probably be Lateralis by Tool.
Awesome. Very
Yeah,
cool. Very
and
cool.
and
I can see that from working with you. I
you know, it's thought provoking. It's intertwined, and you know, it has some elements of, you know, psychedelic, but has some elements of like rock or heavier music. But it's got such a melody and you know, melodic nature to it that it's appealing. You gotta dig too deep to find conviction. So get blindfold that bad promises. 'Cause it ain't easy to find the words. It ain't easy to find the words to slam the nails down. Commit yourself. Commit yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Stoked on St. Augustine. I am Brian Hoffman. Today's video, we are going to take an inside look into Saint and River and Fort and get to know executive chef Derrick Haggerty. I worked under Chef Derrick as a sous chef here a few years ago. He and I are going to sit down and discuss some culinary. Make sure you watch all the way to the end of the video. Chef Derrick is going to spill some tea on a 4th and brand new concept coming to this area. You don't want to miss it. Now let's get right into this one, introducing today's featured chef. I am Executive Chef Derrick Haggerty, Executive Chef of River and Fort and Saint in downtown St. Augustine. We are standing in our brand new restaurant, which is a brand new build. It is an Italian concept with high-end steak, seafood, and fresh pastas. We're right on the bayfront edge, the Matanza River. Our other concept is a few blocks away. That's River and Fort, which is right in front of the historic Castillo de San Marcos. When we arrived at Saint, Chef Derrick was super stoked to give us a tour of the building as well as the kitchen.
As well as the building. I mean, but it's always a work in progress. You know, we start with the architectural designs and then ownership, as well as the executive team get a hold of it, and then we try to go through the steps and the processes of efficiency and execution, and we make the changes that we think will do or be for the best. Our flat pastas we hand make. All of our round pastas and shapes we use the extruder to help us make it. It just speeds up the efficiency and it makes everything extremely consistent, so our quality is top notch. It's great to see, you know, the building come from, you know, a dirt lot all the way to the finished product, you know. And I've got to do that twice with this company and with ownership between River and Fort and here. So that's amazing, you know. Seeing the blood, sweat, and tears and the hard work and the community and everything, you know, all the work and energy and money and, you know, passion we've put into all these projects pay off, you know. So with the uplighting and the Coquina being the 3rd oldest Coquina building in the country, I mean, this is just an elegant, amazing dining room that we have here at Saint. It gives this old world European feel. I mean, it definitely does.
Did you have a part in designing this part, or this was already here too?
Well, the 4 walls was here. We redesigned the ceiling, the roof. We fortified it. We put up the metal cage to protect the walls and everything. I mean, it's crazy how resilient the Coquina is, but it's also very delicate. If you touch it, it starts to crumble. But yet, it's been here 300 years. You know, that's amazing, right? But I mean, again, this structure has been here since shortly after the fort.
I think the main thing that I've taken from you was your thought process of we're building flavors. Is that something that is important to you? And
absolutely. You know,
it definitely came across as
when I was growing up, I was very fortunate to have a lot of great mentors spanning multiple areas of mentorship in this industry, going from corporate all the way to chef-driven concepts. I worked for my father, who is an amazing chef. And he was very tough on me. I mean, there was one point in my career after an incident where I made a mistake, and he threw green beans in my face in front of the entire team and restaurant, that I decided I had to work for other chefs, people who weren't going to be so hard on me, I guess, and or out of love being so hard on me, because not only did I make a mistake and I felt ashamed of that, but I also felt like I let him down, which was 10 times worse, if that makes any sense. So I was able to work for other great chefs, and one of my biggest culinary breakthroughs or developments or mentorships was a gentleman by the name of Mark Hoffling. And one of the first things that I learned from him was think about food differently. And what he specifically was referring to was the colors, the textures, the flavors, all play a part in how the end result of the dish comes out. And layering flavors, building flavors, compounding the ingredients and flavors throughout the cooking process gives you maximum results. And that's something that I really dove deep into and really tried to implement in my day-to-day operations, as well as recipes that I teach, and how I train the staff to cook. When I joined the company, we had one restaurant, and now we have 3, and we're currently in development of a 4th, which is a secret, but secretly it'll be in Atlantic Beach. And this is a fun part of my day. I spend so much time here downtown, but one of the things I do daily is walk back and forth between River and Fort and Saint about 30 to 40 times a day. So let's go take a journey over there.
Heck yeah.
Along this bayfront, there are so many different restaurants and bars and hotels and just places to enjoy downtown St. Augustine and the experience here. And there's honestly many different concepts that allow something for everyone, in my opinion. So we are walking up into River and Fort. River and Fort is a upscale steak and seafood restaurant with a southern emphasis with influences from all over the world. This restaurant has such a cool ambiance and vibe. It's loud, it's chaotic, but at the same time, it's beautiful and elegant. The finishes, the staff, the menu, it's all designed around experience and comfort. One of the things that I've tried to do here, as well as at our other restaurant, Saint, is make things comfortable, make things, classic, but more leaning towards the modern end. Classic but modern, comfortable but upscale. We have so many people who come here and they're dressed up, they're ready for an elegant evening, but then we have, the people that come here and want to have a great night out and enjoy, friends and drinks and just, live a great nightlife here in St. Augustine.
River and Fort and Saint are probably helping develop some young talent.
Oh, ultimately, I feel like that's a huge responsibility, or part of the work that we do is to create and develop, coach and mentor our team, just as we were when we were starting out in this industry. But a cool fact is, on our very first service and for the next month before we open the doors, we rang the bell. And now it's very common for guests to walk down here and just ring the bell. Love the ring.